is Dr. Andy Yates. This is the Cosa Negra channel. Cosa Negra channel. It is the Cosa Negra channel. It's actually the Incongruous channel, but today it's the Cosa Negra channel. Why? Because of this. This is Cosa Negra 3. This is the final of the Cosa Negra trilogy, a whole story, end to end, right? Not like Netflix and Prime, where the the story just kind of fizzles out. They run out of money or something like that. No. It's all here. It's all here. This is the final part of Cosa Negra. And all you got to do is put Dr. Andy Yates into Amazon or Kindle, or look at the links below. All you've got to do is check that out. Be on my website, www.drandyyates.com. It's out there. And it's cheap. You can buy a Kindle version of it. Very, very cheap. You can get all three together as the trilogy, packaged together by our blessed friends Amazon. Cosa Negra 3. All right, let me tell you about the whole book, right? So Cosa Negra 1. Wait a minute, got it here. Cosa Negra 1, right? Cosa Negra 1 starts with a dream I had, okay? Cosa Negra 1 starts with a dream I had. And that dream got me going and thinking about these things. And I'll explain it. This is meant to be the short version, so I'll try and be as fast as I can, and then I expand a bit later on. So it was a dream that grew. I sat down, started writing. I wrote down the dream. Then that dream grew. I let it go forward. I didn't know I could write a novel. I let it go forward. I started writing more and more, and it made sense. It all came together. It was exciting, and it was an adventure. Lots of interesting characters, their relationships together. Very, very interesting. Francis is the kind of hero along with Mariko, because they get together in the end, and they're the ones that do all the adventuring. He's a paranormal author, used to be IT and military. She's an archaeologist, geologist working at the university in the city. They get together, meet in the pub with the rest of the team. Rest of the team is Audrey, a Wiccan New Age lady who runs a shop up in Treorchy at the head of the Rhondda Valley, and lovely Wales. And there's also Anne, who is a medical doctor in Northampton, works at the big general hospital there. And then there's Ed, who used to be in financial services, has now become an IT security consultant. And he has a flat in Northampton that they all use as their research base because it's very secure. So that's how it starts. Now, up in Wales, they realise there's this issue because this is what they've detected. This is what's brought them all together. So they get up into Wales and they're there to deal with this problem. And they find a temporary way to deal with the problem. What's the problem? It's an alien threat to the planet Earth. There's three different kind of manifestations of the aliens, if you like. Advanced alien technology and hyper advanced alien technology. If you wonder what that is, read the books. Yeah. Okay. They then realize that they need to find more examples of this. So they go to Sedona in the United States, which is in the southern part of the state of Arizona in the United States. Check that out. Have some interesting learnings there. They then come back. They go to the Avebury site, Avebury, where the stones are and everything, one of the largest circles in the world, where they actually meet for the first time one of these manifestations of the aliens. And it scares the living daylights out of them because this thing is incredible. Well, it's in the book. It's in the book. And that's that, really. And then in second book, Cosa Negra 2, let me just dig that out here. And you can see by the cover, it gives you a hint of what's involved in these things. There you are, look. That's involved in these things, those critters that are there, right? So that's part of the alien manifestation. Now they go to Avebury, they need to sort out the problems there, and then they realize, well, you know what? We need perhaps to go and check this out in different areas. They go to the Rollright stones, which is another circle of stones, a Wiccan pagan area and everything. And eventually they find a dead body, somebody who's died as an effect of close proximity to these alien things. Because one of the manifestations of the aliens is absolutely toxic and poisonous and dangerous to everybody, which is why they need to get it off the planet. Okay? So that's part of it as well. Now, they then go to resolve it. Now, there's another team involved, which they call the Dark Team. The researchers call the Dark Team. Excuse the ticking noise. That's my dog. She cannot keep still. And this team is like, they're an ex-mafia kind of gangster type group, but are now trying to go legit. And so they're being very helpful and so on. But they've got massive resources and the, the ability to access some dirty tricks, which they do on time to time. All right. So then when they come back they go to Guatemala, they go to Tikal, and they check it out there, Mundo Perdido in the Tikal site. Look these things up. Go nearby to the to a new age kind of commune thing, which is running down, and sort that out. Then when they come back, they realize that there's an alien source of energy in a tunnel under the ground, actually in the local area of Northamptonshire. And they have to resolve that as well. And it's massively difficult because it is so dangerous. Because these things are toxic to all life, actually, on this planet. All right, well, they managed to do that. So in the third book, Cosa Negra III, and I'm just getting that as I'm thinking about it. Okay. There's a group that the Dark Team have contracted called the Integrated Science Laboratories, and they work very closely with the scientists at the Integrated Science Laboratories, Cosa Negra III, there you go. And to try and come up with the answers, they need to locate all the alien artifacts, all the alien items, all the alien objects, get them all together so that they can deal with them in some way. Now, what's interesting is I didn't know all the way through this how they were going to resolve this problem. I did get it by the end of the book because I was writing it, so I pretty should. But that's the point about it. You see, you, the reader, get to move along with the researcher and learn about this as you go along, solve the mysteries, join in with their adventure, travel along with them to various parts all around the world, and learn these things as they go along. And that was exactly how I wrote it. It was just coming out like that. Anyway, so they have to go to Malta, and of course there's lots of archaeology in Malta. They go to Gozo, which is the little island to the north. They go to Cyprus, which is way across to the east. Then they come back, and then they have the problem of resolving the whole thing in a way that's going to last into the distant future. So that's Cosa Negra III. That's the book. That's why I'm so pleased. That's the skinny, really. So put Dr. Andy Yates into Amazon and Kindle. Check out the links that are below. Eventually, I'll get it put onto my website. Might take me a little while. That's it. And in this YouTube channel, the Incongruous YouTube channel, you'll find a video now on every book I've written, which is 5 books altogether. Check them out. You'll find them interesting. Okay, that was the skinny. I think I covered everything on a little list here. All right, so I started writing this book back in March 2020. Now, certainly the Brits will know, and I expect everybody else around the world will know, is that's when COVID started kicking off. I just finished my second book, which is called Becoming a Motley Mongrel, which is a sort of enlightening book. It's using my life as an analogy of how you can change from being a grey and boring creature to this flamboyant wild whack job that I am now. And I'm very happy to be that. I enjoy life so much more now than I was then, because I was a miserable, boring person. Anyway, but I think I've raised up in energy and spirituality and stuff like this as well. So that's all in that book. But I thought it was the wrong time to publish it. COVID, you know, it's a pandemic. It's not very nice. People are dying. Yeah, it was a dreadful time. In the UK, lots of people dying. It was terrible. And the government made an awful job of dealing with it. It felt hopeless at times, didn't it? And then in at the end of March through April, I got COVID. Bad disease. Luckily, I wasn't hospitalized, but I got everything else except for the lung part. I didn't get that, which is why I didn't go to hospital. I was in a mess, total mess. She Who Must Be Obeyed got it as well, bless her. She got over it quicker than I did, although she probably got hit harder than I did. But it was in a week. Mine was a month. And then I was weak as a kitten afterwards and so on. But that's when the book started to grow. I'd had this idea. I started writing it. And as I said, it just was created as this organic process. I wouldn't know what was going to happen at the end of each chapter. I wouldn't know what was going to happen at the end of each book until I was getting near it, and then ideas would come in and I go, yeah, we should do that, we should do this, look at that, this is good. And of course I discussed it with She Who Must Be Obeyed, and she'd say, that's rubbish. That's all she'd say, that's really good, let's go for it. So it was very nice, very interesting. And for the second two books, she took over a total editing process. She did the first one as well, but hasn't been credited for it. But I got her on the second two. Anyway, so a very, very interesting process. A wonderful thing for me, because I never thought I could write a novel. And if nothing else, whether it's popular or not, it doesn't really matter, because for me, I've done that. It's fantastic. It's big too. I mean, look at it. Look at it. These three books are there. Look at them. Look at them. That's my work. That's what I did. And it feels so good to have done it. It's fantastic. And it's actually good reading. I've read it myself about 100 times. It's actually a very good book, a very enjoyable book, you know, for you to sit down. And we still have some lockdowns and we still have some quarantines and stuff like this. So what a great idea to give that to somebody as a present, the Kindle version or something, because that's really cheap. I'm not joking. Check it out. Go to Amazon, Doc28, and check it out. Because it really is, you know, and the story is not just this story of them, but it goes into kind of discussions about the cosmos, life after death, near-death experiences, karma, talks about ancient archaeology. What does it mean? Why were all the temples made the same? Why are the temples in Malta very much the same shape as the Irish temples? There's a name for them and I can't think what it was. Step temples or whatever. I don't know, whatever they are. But the Irish ones, they're just similar in shape. Clover leaf with a long shaft down the middle. Absolutely fascinating, all to do with sound. And then when you compare that to the sound you get in the Hypogeum, the Oracle Room in Halsafliene, near Valletta in Malta, it's all that kind of stuff. It's all in the book. It's all in there. So there's all kinds of little diversions and interests and stuff like this that go along just to make it a colourful book. Meanwhile, the centre plot is dealing with resolving an alien problem on this planet using only current technology. As I said, no teleportation, no wormholes, no Planck drives, no black holes or anything like this. It's just what we've got. If you and I had to be able to resolve this problem right now, these are the resources we might have available to us to actually fix it. We can't go, oh God, it's getting nasty here, beam me up, Scotty. You just can't do that. And that's not in the book. That's the thing that often frustrates me with series I see on Netflix or something like that, is sometimes it's just silly. It just wouldn't happen that way, you know. The two partners that work together and then suddenly one of them goes off and doesn't tell the other one where they're going. They've worked together for 5 years. They've always told each other where they were going. But in this series, because the script needs a bit of meat to it, they send one of the guys off without telling anybody. And then the whole thing's about the other guy looking for him. You know what I'm talking about, right? Nothing like that in the book. I hope not. That was the plan. All right. So it's a very complex book. It's actually requires a bit of thought to get through it. It requires a thought to work out some of the mysteries, can make some of the connections. It also hopefully will trigger some of your own thought processes about the origins of the universe, the way the cosmos works, the different permutations of how things could be, some of the archaeology and how that reflects to where we are now, and how does that reflect to our future that's coming. You know, if there were aliens coming to us, what nature would they be? Why would they be? Which you see all the time on a lot of New Age sites, I'm afraid, where they're all dressed in Greek clothes and they're human. Why? Why would they be? They wouldn't be. They certainly wouldn't be wearing Greek clothes and white pillared temples and stuff like this. It's nonsense. Total nonsense. As soon as you see that, you're going to go, well, this is rubbish. But that doesn't mean there isn't a truth behind it, which is the idea of energy. And that's what these aliens are all about. Energy. That's the reason they're here on planet Earth. I'm not going to give you any more. Read the books. Okay? So anyway, that's the way it is. Don't forget, these are going to be in YouTube, so there's a comment section if you want to say something about it. And there it is. Dr. Andy Yates into Amazon and Kindle. Check out my website as well. I'm going to start updating that too. And I've got a new project that I'm going to start working on that will be on this channel, the Incongruous channel, on YouTube. There you go. Hopefully, we're coming to the end of COVID. Hopefully, our lives are getting better. That'd be great. Still time to read this book, though. These books, right? Yeah? So check them out. Got to do it. Dr. Andy Yates on the Incongruous channel. And please, please, please take care.